Student protesters at Columbia University occupied Hamilton Hall early on Tuesday morning, a symbolic move that immediately drew comparisons to the consequential protests of 1968, which saw hundreds of students occupy the same building and other parts of the campus to protest segregation and the escalating Vietnam War. The initial protests ended on April 30 after police cleared protesters out of Hamilton Hall and other campus buildings, but many of their goals were realized. Columbia scrapped its plan for the Morningside Park gym, withdrew from the IDA, and temporarily banned military recruitment on campus. Classes were cancelled for a week after the protest ended, but students organized a student strike and encouraged others to refrain from stepping foot inside classrooms for the remainder of the semester. Over 300 graduating students walked out of the official commencement ceremony that year, and President Kirk stepped down that August. In an interview with the Daily Beast on Tuesday, former Columbia protest leader Mark Rudd said that 2024 protesters are a lot more careful and smarter than their counterparts in 1968. They don't have the violent rhetoric we had, like calling the cops pigs and up against the wall, motherfucker, that kind of craziness, he told the publication. Rudd, who later served time in prison for his actions with the Weather Underground, was one of the students initially suspended during the protests. Student protesters at Columbia set up the Gaza Solidarity Encampment on the college's south lawn on April 17. The protesters called on the university to divest from companies that do business with the Israeli military. The university quickly moved to shut the encampment down on April 18, calling in the NYPD, who arrested over 100 students that evening. The encampment was quickly rebuilt in the days following the mass arrests, and Columbia President Minouche Shafik previously said calling the NYPD back to campus would be counterproductive. However, Shafik gave protesters a final 2 p.m. deadline on Monday to clear the encampment or face immediate suspensions. Protesters remained at the encampment past the deadline, and Columbia reportedly began issuing suspensions on Monday night. After students broke into Hamilton Hall on Tuesday morning, the university said students inside would face expulsion. It is unclear how many students have been issued suspensions or expulsions so far. Final exams end at Columbia on May 10, and the university's commencement ceremony is scheduled for May 15.